I'll take a bathroom break.
We're back.
We're
And
back.
I'm mobile.
We're back.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Make sure you hit that Cash App for sale. It's in the description box.
Sir. Oh look, did everything just restore? Like, can I switch back to my computer?
Maybe. Yeah, I think if you exit here and then go rejoin the other place.
I don't know. My internet is just I don't know what happened. Like literally just lights went out, internet went out, everything went out, but I don't know. We still here. So
You were trying to talk retro Brock and he didn't like that.
right. And now I can't bring up my image because I was about to bring up my image. But I sent it to you, so you can bring up the image of my segue into retro Brock.
Did you? I didn't get no image.
You said what?
I didn't get no image.
I sent that to you.
Oh, it's somewhere earlier?
Yes.
Okay, so breaking news. Okada said he's going for the United States for a bit. And his first opponent is going to be Buddy Matthews.
What? Wait, what?
What up, what up, what up?
Oh, wait, hold up. Wait. Let me switch. Hold on. Let's see. Bam! I'm back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
What up? What up?
Yeah, so like I said, since you didn't hear, Okada just said that he's coming to the United States for a little bit, and his first match will be against Buddy Matthews.
Really?
That's what he said.
Okay. We shall see. What up? What up? What up?
That's gonna be a good match.
So, look where I left off from, before the power gods to be like was so rude.
Wow.
So we have, if you had to put into a fatal 4-way match, you had these 4 people, who would survive? So we have the Undertaker, but 98 Undertaker, right?
Uh-huh.
So we have Bruiser Brody, but like 85 Bruiser Brody. Brock Lesnar between, 2002, 2003. And then we have Haku from like 88. So those 4 people in the Survivor Series. And y'all can feel free to drop in the comments who y'all feel will win. But I said Survivor Series. We have a fatal 4-way. Who survives? And it's fatal 4-way.
If Brock is in it, I'm always gonna say Brock. But I said that the last 2 were definitely gonna be Brock and Haku. Yeah, see Brock.
See, my concern, I think Brock too, especially because we're talking about like 02 to 03 Brock, right?
Where he was super young.
Right, super young.
And throwing around
more quick.
Throwing around Big Show and fucking Rikishi like they were 2 pounds.
Right. I think my thing, like Bruiser Brody, like homeboy was rough.
He was rough, but Brock probably wouldn't play that shit and probably slapped the shit out of him. You saw what he did to Hardcore Holly. He dropped him on his head and said, "Fuck you, bro. Don't play that shit with me."
This is true. So I don't know. Like I feel like that's a tough mix-up, but I also feel like the Undertaker is like irrelevant in that whole scheme. Like of all 4 of them, I feel like Undertaker is like the least.
Facts. Any Brock is a monster.
Right. Yes, I completely agree. Whether it is current Brock, old Brock, new Brock, whatever Brock.
On your head, Brock. Punching in your face, the Braun Strowman Brock.
Yo, Brock is a beast, though. Like, it took me a while to fully like him.
No, never me. I always liked him.
Well, you know what? Let me say, I liked him. I didn't like that he wasn't active with the belt.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that made me be like,
I mean, now
musical hit. I'd be like,
I mean, they always say hindsight's 2020. So now going back, looking at what he didn't make it seem like a prize fight title. Like you didn't get to see it all the time because it was that prestigious.
Right. I can see that.
But during real time, it's like, bro, you're supposed to be here to defend this shit every day. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right. And that's kind of what we want. It's like we want to see the belt defended, or even if it's not defended, we at least want to see it present. Like we want to see a present champion. We don't want to see someone who's just like sitting at home twiddling their thumbs.
Like
But
Roman's always there. Whether he defends it or not, he's always there.
facts.
And then if he takes a day off, he comes back next week and tells you he took a day off and that it was a shitty ass show without him.
Facts.
Yeah,
I mean,
Roman isn't as bad right now. I think Roman is so happy he gets to be who he wanted to be because I put the clip up on YouTube. So if you're on my YouTube now, Mr. Boone, go ahead and subscribe and check that out. But if you're on CLs, make your way over here afterwards. But I guess they showed like a little thing after SmackDown went off the air, and he was just having fun, messing around with Kofi and Xavier, just acting like a heel, just crazy.
so okay. So since we're on the topic of heels, and especially we have the topic of heel Brock and face Brock, right? So
Yeah.
who was the most surprising heel or babyface turn throughout history? And the whole entire history. Who's the most shocking?
Turning heel.
We'll start with heel. We'll start with heel turn first. The
Not
one
for,
that you were
not,
like, I didn't see that coming.
not for me. I'm not going to say it much because I told you I don't talk about this gentleman. But for the world, when Terry turned heel, that was something else. That's the last I'll say of that man who's very racist. But for the industry wise, that was a game changer because no one ever thought that would happen.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
for me, a heel that turned heel.
Like you couldn't believe it. Like you were sitting there in all your kayfabe glory, and you were like, "What? No,
The crazy
not
thing,
him."
the crazy thing is, I don't think it was as shocking as Terry. But when Steph turned on the Shield, that was shocking to me.
Yeah.
Like
So
I legit
funny.
didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't. I completely agree. I would say Seth turning, but also just like Juan said, Daniel Bryan when he turned heel. That was also very shocking. Didn't see that coming at all. Like it was like, not Daniel Bryan.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember that. Are we talking about AJ Styles?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Maybe I didn't watch that. I don't even remember that happening. I remember him turning heel to join like the Wyatt family, but it was all a plan.
Oh my god.
But I don't think I ever legitimately remember him turning heel on AJ.
All right. So then, how about Babyface?
All right. Well, who was yours? Was it? Were you agreeing with Daniel, or were you agreeing with Seth?
I think for me, I was probably more shocked with Seth. I think Seth was the biggest shocker.
Because they were in the groove. They were in the groove. They were working. They were dominating. They just be evolution. I think for the second or third time, Triple H kept on saying this always Plan B shit. I was like, okay, cool. Plan B. He's about to do something crazy, but whatever. Like he'll bring somebody back. And then see my man hit him with the chair shot. And then the way Dean played is so amazing. You know, Dean when he was in WWE, of course, obviously John Moxley. But when he played it, like his facial expression, like he sold the shit out of it. And even Seth said it on the Stone Cold podcast. He said people to this day still don't forgive him for that.
How could you?
So that had to be something major.
And then it's not only just that, but then what he did after that by then having the authority.
That was a good run.
I hated Seth at that time. Like I like just hated him. So he did everything correctly because I did not want to see him on my TV. I didn't want to eventually see J&J Security. Like I didn't want to see any of them. I hated Seth for so long, but it wasn't like, oh, like I knew he was talented. I wasn't that person. Like, oh, he sucks. No, he was just doing his job. He was doing his good old heel job and made me really be like, I hope they release you. Not really, but like, go sit in a catering section or something. Like, ugh, that did it for me.
I'm about to
So
put up your picture that you sent with Stone Cold shaking hands with Vince. I mean, that was shocking too, but I felt at that time in that Stone Cold had to do something different. Like he was running stale, so it wasn't shocking because Stone Cold always told the line.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. I was watching a clip last night or this morning. Why did I see this clip? I don't know. Where I think I was just like scrolling on Twitter and somebody brought up the fact it was like they just like unlocked the memory that LL Cool J was on an episode of I'm assuming it was SmackDown, maybe he was playing cards with
APA.
yep, yep. And I was like, damn, back when they were on UPN and him and Booker like low key cut a promo. And I'm like, damn, that would have looked really good in the ring though.
I don't even remember that.
They completely unlocked that memory. Like I was sitting there like, damn, I forgot that happened. Yeah, and controversy aside, Hogan turning. Yeah,
We don't say his name. You know the CL. His name's Terry.
I'm sorry, Terry. Terry turning.
We don't get that racist man no power.
Sorry. Terry. Yes, him turning was probably one of the most shocking, especially being a kid. I mean, like I
Yeah, so for like for the wrestling world in a whole, Terry was big because it was always eat your vitamins, say your prayers, like never at it would be like
it was a face.
it would be like seeing John Cena turn heel.
Mm.
Like you would never expect that. I wish that would happen with John. I guess we could talk about LA, like who we wish would have did a certain turn. I guess we could do that after we do the face one, but it would have been to that magnitude, I think. But that's my fate, my heel turn. What about your face? Like who do you think was the shocking face? Like oh shit.
Um,
And you can answer that too, Boone. Obviously.
I don't.
I
The
don't know,
most shocking.
on DJ, whatever it is. You know, what I'm saying we all fam here.
The most shocking face turn. Ah, I think anytime Alexa Bliss goes face, because you're waiting for her to turn back heel because it's like I don't trust you.
No, I think mine is Brock. I think mine is Brock.
Okay.
This face turn to me is it's unexpected when they first announced it because the WWE always spoils everything they're gonna do before it happens. So
When they're really excited about something, they need ratings. Yes.
we already knew that Brock was coming back as a face and Roman was gonna be heel, but I legit didn't think it would work. I was like, how is a face Brock gonna work? Like
Boombox.
I was like, but I was like, he barely talks, he barely cuts a promo. He's just so amazing as a heel, but that's just to Brock's character. Like he's just really good at what he does.
Yeah. I think them showing a different dimension of Brock because we've seen him heel for so long and them showing him as face, which we briefly saw before, and then they kind of like threw it away. And then now they're bringing it back and they're being a little bit more consistent. They're giving him time on a mic. They're letting him like really flourish, which is sad to say because this man's been with the company for like how freaking long. And you're just now giving him the opportunity to flourish further into his character. Like, shame on y'all for giving him the opportunity now. But I agree. It's been hilarious. I don't hate like face Brock. I think it's great. But like Alexa Bliss. You're on edge because at the same time you're waiting. Like,
I got to see Brock turn heel with his new look.
yeah, it's
This look.
something about him with his facial hair. When he has his facial hair, you
I
know
don't care
that
what this-
you're about to
I'm
get
talking about.
like,
I'm not talking about the hair.
oh, like the all like his hair too, ponytail.
Like, did you ever think Brock would have a ponytail?
Nah,
I can
nah.
see a beard, obviously, because he did the UFC, but a hair, like he's always been like military cut. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got, I
yeah.
got to see him end his run as a heel, back with Paul or by himself, however that story goes, and just destroying whatever people left on the roster, and then just fading out into the sunset.
I do want to see that this angle with Paul and Roman and Brock. I want to see it hit a new level. Like I feel like we haven't
I
fully
told you, right? I told you what we should do. I didn't get
won.
to. I told you I didn't get to describe it last booking. I mean, as far as is it gonna make it that much of a crazier angle? Probably not. But let's just say, actually, it's not even gonna be for Brock because they're not gonna book the Brock and Roman thing against it like what Royal Rumble Mania.
Right.
So I feel like Roman's next opponent. I think obviously they're gearing it to be probably Woods and then Big E, and then he'll run through that. And then the next major one before Brock would probably be Drew. So what I said for Drew, what they should do is obviously the fans are loving it. I believe the WWE is loving it because they keep on retweeting everything he says. My man's, I forgot his name. I don't want to disrespect him, but the third Uso, obviously they're loving him in NXT.
Oh, their brother. I'm like, who? Okay.
They're loving him in NXT. So what they should do is Drew Roman fight for some stipulation. They say Paul's banned, Usos are banned. Roman, Drew, that's it. Drew hits the Claymore. It's about to be a wrap. Here comes the newest member of the bloodline. Helps Roman. Boom. Now we got all four in the ring. Hopefully with fucking Naomi after that, but all four in the ring. Got the ones up because we the ones, and that'll take us to Brock.
I hate that.
Because you say it has to technically go to a new level. So what other dimension can we go when we already got Roman and the Usos doing the same thing? If Roman doesn't win clean, the Usos help him. So now we need something else. If it ain't gonna be Paul helping, then it's got to be something like either Naomi or, and why not give him the rub?
Listen.
He's not gonna be the NXT champ. Who knows when he's gonna get called up? So why not just throw him with his family, let him get that rub. Let's see if he can go, and let's get it.
I'm thinking on a whole when I say like another level, like I want Brock to like kidnap Paul. Like
Come on, I'm tired of kidnapping stories. Somebody said I think it might have been World Culture. They said that the craziest shit that happened when people, I think Impact, aka TNA at the time, kidnapped Samoa Joe,
right.
and then they just dropped him off one day like nothing happened.
Yo, but
And we're just supposed to forget. No police were called. Nothing happened. Nobody got fired. Nobody got arrested. Nothing ever happened. Like,
nah, I want to see Paul get kidnapped. I want this man, like, I want Brock, like, to go to Paul's house, kidnap this man,
I
and
see Brock showing up there, maybe scaring the shit out of him, fucking him up. But kidnapping, I don't know about kidnapping.
let's kidnap him, bring him to Monday Night Raw, and be like, Roman, you want him back? Come get him.
I don't think Roman cares about him. He would have to kidnap one of the Usos.
It's funny because I think he cares more about Paul than the Usos. Like, if he was to kidnap one of them, he's like, ah.
All right. So we're making this a Roman thing, and I love my cousin Us, but we're trying to do this face heel stuff. Who's somebody that you wanted to be heel that either didn't do it long enough?
Right now, Xavier Woods, because
I definitely feel like Xavier Woods. That's not my guy, but that's not my answer. But I've been said Xavier Woods needs to be a heel.
yeah, I mean,
That's fine.
He's done it before with the group. I don't know. Maybe they're gearing up towards it.
They,
I
they
just
WWE did everything that they always do. They dropped the ball. The best time is when I told you he should have either fought against Kofi and turned heel.
ooh.
Talking about the former ECW, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He should have either fought Kofi and the King of the Ring turned heel, or when he won it and Kofi was in the ring with them and he was doing all that celebratory shit, he should have then turned on him and said, "I don't need none of you motherfuckers." That's when it should happen, and it hasn't happened. So either they're gonna do it eventually, or they just did what they always do and they missed the ball. So Xavier Woods is a great answer, but that's not my answer, obviously.
So
Mine
who's
would
your
be,
answer?
mine would be Cena
Mm.
because he was great. He was great on the mic, so he was gonna give us some. I guess technically his rap persona was supposed to be his
Yeah,
heel, although
thugonomics.
although he wasn't. But just looking at that, like obviously
It's because
he
he
has
was
great.
so over.
Yeah, he has great mic work. So like I said, it would have been Terry all over again. Like, oh shit, like you would never think Cena would turn heel, and then he turned heel.
Yeah, I could see that.
We're tired of the New Day together, Mister Boom. Like we're
Listen,
tired.
we're
Of
not
it.
gonna get me started on a new day.
Yeah, they've been together too long. Like
But no, I don't want to see them breaking up. See,
I,
that's my thing.
I do.
Back in the day,
Big
you
E's
didn't
on right by
that,
himself. I'm glad. I'm glad.
but you didn't break up a tag team back in the day. Not all the time. Like maybe a faction drifted apart, sure, but a
How many
tag
times do you want to
team,
see them get the belt?
was get what belt?
How many times do you want to see them get the championship belt, the tag team belts?
I mean, that's
Just,
where they belong.
don't they have like 8 or 10 already? Like, what's the point? They're technically from what list was it? They're technically the greatest tag team of all time. So why do I still need to see you as a tag team? Like, can we get a singles run before y'all go on or something? Like,
I mean, but that's what they're doing right now. Everybody's having their year of.
the Usos is fighting the New Day again.
I mean, that's because that's all they know how to book, and that they don't have much of a tag team division anymore
Um,
anyway.
and I'm pretty sure since Big E has the belt, they're gonna end up giving New Day the belt again.
I don't know.
So that they
I
can do
feel like
this.
that could go either way.
So they can do the same thing that Roman and the Usos have all the belts. Now Big E and New Day have the belts. I guarantee.
Faction versus faction.
I guarantee it. But all right, so that's heel. Boom. Let us know who you would want to be heel, unless you're talking about the New Day. What about face?
Who would I have wanted to be face that never turned face?
Or it was a short face run, like
Or
AKA,
short.
like AKA Brock.
Yeah, because Brock was something we never knew we needed. That's the crazy shit
Yeah,
about
that
it.
boombox was fire.
Um,
Let's not use Brock.
mm,
You know why it's hard for me? Because WWE does faces so bad.
right. That's why it's like I don't know if I would want to see any of them be face. I mean, even Kane's was weird.
Uh-huh.
Like that man, he's literally supposed to be like his whole character is supposed to be heel.
I guess Undertaker, right? Undertaker was a good face. He was American Badass.
See, unpopular opinion. I actually like American Badass.
No, I do too. I thought he
There's
was
so
funny.
many people that don't.
I think they don't like him because he was out of shape at first.
I just liked it. I just
I
liked
like the
everything
whole
about
back. I like the whole biker gimmick because that's who the Undertaker really is.
it. Mm-hmm.
It was like, and then American Badass, I believe, is when he morphed the two together, right?
Yep. Eventually, I think that's what he did. Eventually, like it didn't start off that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was one of the few
Rolling,
that
rolling, rolling, keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Shit was fire.
facts, yo.
He was
Oh,
a,
Ministry Taker.
no, Ministry Taker was crazy as fuck. And his
Yo,
look, his goatee was fire. He was swole as fuck. His ponytail, the way he rocked his hair was dope.
yo, I was terrified of Kane as a kid.
No, I think I was with Taker. That ministry shit when he was hanging niggas from crosses. That shit was crazy.
Nah, it was crazy. I was terrified of Kane as a kid, but I liked him. So I had his poster on my wall, but I was just like,
Now they fucked up King because first he couldn't talk, then he was supposed to be burnt, then I didn't get either of that, then he didn't have a mask, then he didn't have hair. They just
yo, what messed me up is when I realized that they put hair on his mask. I was like,
no. What messed me up was when I found out that. What messed me up was when I found out they weren't really brothers.
word, yo, the devastation. Like, you mean to tell me that these two big men ain't brothers? Like, come on now. Like, my whole childhood was ruined. I couldn't trust them after that. I couldn't trust anything that came out of Vincent Kennedy McMahon's mouth. Nothing. What? Like,
Yeah, that's what fucked me up. And the thing
okay,
song.
so if we talking about disappointments, then I'm when he had his
So what are we saying? Like, who's our disappointment here, or just character?
I mean, if you gonna talk about disappointments as far as heels or character, I mean
My character. That's all Bray. They fucked that all shit. That whole shit up.
his whole and I always felt bad for Bray because
Because he tried.
right, and he was
Someone
good.
tweeted- Either someone tweeted or I think I put a one of the posts up on my YouTube on the community shit, a picture of Bray and said something, and someone was like, "What did they say?" They said something to the effect of, "I can't believe that people think Bray's so creative," and I was like, "What?"
They
Everything
must
Bray
not.
does is so creative, like how we took the original like Bray Wyatt was from I believe Cape Fear.
Mhm.
That shit was crazy. I had to go back and check it out and watch the movie. I'm like, oh, okay, I can see it. Like,
Right.
like everything Bray does, even the fact that Bray's been quiet and now slowly saying shit is creative.
And he's alluding to possibly going at a feud with Malachi Black.
Which, if they join forces, is going to be crazy. But it's
Oh
what I
my
said.
god, I
It's what I
wish.
said. Remember, I told you if Bray doesn't come to AEW, it's because Black pretty much has the whole gimmick that would have been Bray's, that whole dark shit. But if they join forces now, it would make sense.
We could have two dark guys. I mean,
They got the mask together.
we
They
got
got
who's his name?
they got the
Darby? We
yeah,
have
but listen,
Darby?
they both have masks. The lights both go out. It's like if someone came in and did the same thing the Undertaker was doing.
But that would be awesome, right? Because the lights go out and you're automatically like, okay, that's gonna be Malachi Black.
I think
And then
that's I think
boom,
they're gonna do it. I think that's how they're gonna do it.
it's Wyndham. I would like I would
Wyndham,
lose my shit.
Wyndham with Braun. Because you know
I would lose my mind.
Braun said he's getting back in shape, ring shape.
I would
And
lose my mind.
and he kept on saying, I'm waiting for you, brother. So imagine having I still want Bo to be up in there. Like Bo, long beard, long hair, just giving me a character that I couldn't get in WWE. Like just be creative and let Bray or you, whatever, like take it over. Like Braun, Black, Bray, and Bo. And then fuck oh well, no, we can't throw let's say throw Selena in there, but Selena's not there.
Nope,
Fire.
it's not because
Yeah, we
Roode
talked
on that one.
we talked about the Dark Order before. I don't know if you ever caught that convo. We think that ship has sailed, obviously, with the Heyman and Page shit. Obviously, we get it because of Brody, like rest in peace. So unless it's a long play storytelling eventually to where it reconnects to that happening, we pretty much think that that ship has sailed for Bray to take over the Dark Order.
Yeah, I'm not confident that that will happen. I mean, I would like for it to happen, but I'm just at this point, it's like
Like they don't
I
even like the Dark Order anymore. They're like kind of light.
I also don't think that I feel like Bray wouldn't want to.
Yeah, because of Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that was his thing. That's not my thing. Like like I'll honor it, like I'll talk about it maybe like that, but do I then join them? Do I attack them? Like I don't know. I don't know. Like
facts.
maybe he does attack him. Maybe he joins with Malachi and attacks him and they obviously don't see it coming because they're like what? Like that was your brother. And he's like, yeah, that was my brother, not your brother. Like,
Yeah,
who are you people? And just like goes after them. Or, maybe his mind is taken over just like Malachi's is, and we see a different version
well,
of
we'll get Wyndham. Obviously, it's gonna be,
Right.
and then he's already copyrighted coat of Wyndham, so something's up with that.
Mm-hmm. We're definitely gonna get a new side of him.
I need him to win that TNT belt because the way whatever he designs that belt to be is gonna be crazy.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a custom.
It's obviously it's gonna be.
I wouldn't mind that because it would be the first belt that we would have in AEW that's like custom made. We haven't had that yet.
It's gonna be
So I
fire.
wouldn't mind that. That would be awesome. There's so many possibilities, and especially because Full Gear is coming up on the 13th. So I'm just like super excited because, and I hate paying for pay-per-views, but I'm definitely gonna spend the coins because why not? I know it's gonna be good. And not for nothing,
That's the thing about AEW and their pay per views, at least right now. Like, will it be like that 3 years from now? Who knows? But as of now, even if you don't get the shocker that you were expecting, it's still fire.
yeah, you may not get one that you were expecting. You might get a whole different left field one. Like, oh, didn't see that coming. Like, that's what's great about it. So I am fully pumped for Full Gear. I don't know what's gonna happen. As far as what the surprises may be, there's, rumors of Flair showing up and completing the Four Horsemen and joining Andrade. So we do have that possibly happening at Full Gear, especially enough time has died down.
I know at one point Tony said that he still had like two aces up his sleeve, and
Mhm.
I don't think we got those yet
No, because the damn sure wasn't Leo Rush.
because it was after Bryan and Cole.
Yep. Yep. And he said he had two more to go. And then of course we still have
Oh, and I'm,
Gargano,
and
but
I'm telling you, Rush is coming. Spanish Rush, especially because they've been released by ROH,
right,
and Andrade and him is like
right.
this.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
And
fire.
also,
That's gonna be a fire tag team or trios because Bandileo, I believe, is over there too.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fire
This
trio or
telling you.
fire stable.
Oh my gosh. Like I can't wait for Full Gear next week. Like I really can't wait.
Are you doing a post show to Full Gear? I think I may order my first AEW pay per view. We usually go during the match.
Um, da- 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 da. Let's see, what time is Full Gear? Is it the huge
They got a
8
new
o'clock?
Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez on Netflix.
You didn't see that?
I feel like it's a new one, or is that the old one?
That's the old one.
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing commercials come up on my TV. Okay, yeah, I definitely saw it.
Let's see, what time is it starting?
We usually do go live though on pay per views where we feel like it's gonna be either really big or someone's gonna like pop out.
Oh yeah, it is 8 o'clock. But
On Friday or Saturday.
it's gonna be on Saturday because Sunday's my birthday. Um,
Catch up, Chance, DTE gang.
I'm looking here. Yeah, so we could go live during.
Yeah, we can do it live.
We can go live during the show and give everybody all the play-by-plays. I have no problem with
So you
that.
subscribe everywhere, Mr. Boone. My YouTube, CL's YouTube, her Twitch, the Patreon. Let's get it.
Alright. Yeah,
All
we'll
links
go
are in
live
this.
then.
Got a new pro wrestling T-shirt out. It's on the screen right now. Wrestling fans are toxic. That's fact.
Oh my god, it's funny.
Every time I put a post up, I just have people. They help my algorithm so much on the channel because they just be fighting each other every other post.
Right,
And I'm
oh
just,
my god.
I want to say why you guys fighting each other, but I'm like, yo, you're just helping it continue to spread. So I'm just gonna let y'all do y'all thing.
It was funny because I dropped a post on Twitter the other morning, and some mornings I wake up and I'm like, let's cause a little chaos. And I asked everybody.
Oh, the Shawn
I was
Michaels thing?
Yeah, I was like, hey guys,
You were bugging for that, but go ahead.
But no, I mean,
you know what's crazy? You know why I don't like you? I don't like you. Because
you say you don't like me.
Because you'll ask a question, you don't even use hashtags, and people reply.
Nah,
I use the hashtags, they be leaving me on dope.
because I was like, yo, I'm causing chaos. But who was a better wrestler, HBK or Jericho? Now, I knew that question was going to be chaotic. And I had like some people was like, this isn't chaos. Really? Because I have a lot of people that's going back and forth in the post.
Okay,
Like,
be honest with yourself. What's the answer?
so
No, what's your answer?
my answer
Be serious.
is it would have to be HBK.
Okay. But in the defense, I told you that I think the first time they ever fought, it was like watching a mirror. They
Right.
legit looked like they were the same wrestler.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that shit was so amazing.
Yeah. And we're talking about like full on career wise. I mean, and I agreed with somebody where they said that Jericho had more like exposure. He did more technically with his career than HBK did.
Because Jericho's good at reinventing himself.
Huh?
Jericho's great at reinventing himself. HBK, you only got the Heartbreak Kid or DX. That's
Right.
it. And I love
Right.
Shawn. I love Shawn. He's my GOAT. He's always going to be my GOAT. I guess like other people's Michael, always going to be their Michael. Like Kobe's my Michael. You know what I'm saying? But if we're being honest, because I can be honest, HBK only had two versions.
Right.
Either he was DX or he was the Heartbreak Kid. That's pretty much it. Like the tag team didn't even make Marty Jannetty. That was cool, but wasn't really that big of a deal.
Well, now he's Frank Gallagher. So, there's three versions. Bro, no, I swear to God, you weren't gonna. If somebody would have told me, like, prime HBK, like, if somebody would have told me as a kid that Shawn Michaels will grow up to look like he got hit by a train,
I don't get no slander of HBK.
I would have been like, you're lying. That's a lie. Don't you dare say that.
That's great. All you had to do was look at his father.
Bro, but ain't nobody see it coming like that. Like
We all end up looking like our parents.
Yo, like, nah, like not like that. Not like that. That was bad.
I do agree with Mr. Boone though. Better wrestler HBK, hands down, made everyone the greatest. Definitely Mr. WrestleMania. But better talent Jericho. Like he spent more time on. I mean, he had HBK to look up to and take notes. Like, but he was definitely always great at reinventing himself.
Ooh, so let me ask you,
like,
right?
Like, hold on. Someone even said, which there is validity in it. If we never got Jericho in New Japan against Kenny Omega, I mean, would AEW start? That was the whole domino effect of shit happening.
I can see that.
Well, go ahead, ask me.
So, yes. So let me ask you, right?
I'm ready. I may be young, but I'm ready.
All right. So we have HBK, right?
The greatest of all time.
And if you look at his feud with Bret Hart, right? Do you think that if it wasn't for Bret's stubbornness with HBK, that HBK like wouldn't be as great? He wouldn't have gotten the recognition.
What do you mean?
Like, do you think it backfired? Like everything that he worked so hard to kind of like when he was leaving, you know, when we had
Are you
the
saying like if Hitman played ball, then Sean wouldn't have blew up?
right.
No, I think Sean would have always blew up because Sean has always to this day been Vince's favorite.
But do you think that he would have just transcended as far as he did?
I mean, that's like saying would Jay-Z have blown up if Biggie didn't die? I think he still would have been Sean. Maybe it would have been. It took a little longer because
Right.
he would have still been there. But the way that Vince loved Sean and Sean's talent, he was never not going to be Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Sean. Like I promise you after this, I am going to get on Peacock and just like indulge in old HBK matches. I like that when I sent out that
Oh,
post, like I said,
best match is him versus Terry, and the fact that he does not like him and he is overselling everything. That is so hilarious
the fact that you said that was the best match.
because it's so Sean. He was such a dick. Like
Yeah.
like Terry chopped him in on the ropes and he just goes flying over and then there's 3 cartwheels outside of the ring. Like it's so
Yeah.
intimidating.
And it was so somebody had even then went to go a step further after I had put that and decided to cause chaos. They was like, okay. So then they put like a different like they put like a list of wrestlers. Like, okay, so if you had to choose between Trish or Lita, Sasha or Charlotte, Triple H or The Rock, Stone Cold or The Undertaker, John Cena or Randy Orton.
Okay, give me those. I'll tell you. Give me them.
All right. So first up, Trish or Lita.
Looks wise, Lita, but
We're not
wrestling,
talking about the looks.
Trish was amazing. I felt Lita was just high flying. Trish was actually good in the ring. You know what? I'm gonna give you a spoiler, Mr. Boone, because we were supposed to do this today. My WWE dream match was AJ Styles or Shawn Michaels.
Mm.
Like that would have been crazy.
Damn. That would have been phenomenal. I don't know who I would even want to
It would have been
win.
the show stealer.
I don't know who I would want to win.
Oh, I know who I want to win, obviously, but it would have been. And if
Now,
we're talking, if we could go back, like we'll do more of this the day we have to do it, which would be fire. If we could go back and get Prime DX Prime Bullet Club,
oh my god,
crazy.
that would have been
The,
amazing.
the mic work, the matches, even the side matches.
I can only imagine. That would have been you want to talk about like some popping TV? That would have been just
I would have had no life.
facts, yo.
Wrestling all day. You going out now, bro?
Of course, AJ is in GOAT territory. Yes, I think anybody who doesn't recognize him in that realm is retarded.
Yeah, like I've said it before too. AJ was Sean in TNA. He was the GOAT of TNA. The only one that was second to him, besides the obvious Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, it was Bobby Roode. Because Bobby Roode to me was the Triple H of TNA.
And then he came to WWE and he hit the main roster and they didn't do anything.
Nope.
That is such a waste of talent. Oh my god! Like I just want him to get released. Like go, be free.
Yeah, he's got to go back to Impact and make that full circle.
Oh my god! Like please, like I would. Oh my god! Like
Imagine lights go off or whatever you want to do, or I forgot what his theme music was. Oh, it was so fire though. But Moose is talking shit. He just beat whoever for the title at whatever pay per view, and then it's either right then and there or the next day he's talking shit like no one is fucking with me. Like I am Impact. I've always been Impact, and then
Mm,
you just hear Roode's music.
mm.
Crazy, like just something to be a booker. But go ahead. So who's yours? Trisha Leader. Is that hard? Trish was
I was see,
echoing
I
her
was I liked Trish, right?
facts boom. Yeah,
I liked Lita, but I don't know. I felt like Lita really had it for me.
because you were into the high flying shit, the Hardy shit.
I was.
She wasn't technical because they're different styles. She wasn't technical. She was a high flyer,
Right, right.
which
I think that's the
what made
biggest thing in that.
which is what made them fire because they were opposite styles.
Right. So you got two different. You got the best of both world in one ring.
Because they say
I
matches make great fights.
yes. So yeah, I was a Lita girl. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was also a Sable girl too, but that's a
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
whole different thing. All right. So then you got Trish, I got Lita. All
All
right,
right,
next one was Sasha or Charlotte. I don't even have to answer, but go ahead.
you laughing because I feel I guess you're laughing because of yourself because it's not going to be
Yeah, because
Sasha.
you know.
But I've already said I think Charlotte is the greatest woman wrestler of all time.
Hands down.
Yeah,
Yep.
like over Trish, over Lita,
Yep.
over Molly, the Glamazon. Like
Hmm.
she just does it all for me. She's technical. She's got great genetics. Like she's a high flyer. Like she can talk on the mic. Greatest female wrestler of all time. It's crazy because she didn't even want to be a wrestler.
Right. That's all my thing with her. It's just like this is someone who between genetics and training, she got it. So hands down, it would definitely be Ashley, not Mercedes on that one.
Yeah, but I do love the boss. But go ahead.
Next one, Triple H.
She is the lady goat. My bad. Go ahead.
Triple H or The Rock?
I think The Rock just because he resonates with me more. Obviously, like I love the entertaining factor of it. I love just who he was on screen, off screen. But in ring work, like Triple, there's no. I don't think there's any better heel than Triple H. Like so, the answer would be Triple H. But I love The Rock.
Yeah, I have to go with Paul because at the end of the day, we have probably some of the best memories because of Paul. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have a lot of great ones with The
The Rock.
Rock as well. Like I'm not gonna deny that. But
I just never
Paul,
thought The Rock was a great wrestler.
yeah, I never thought that either. I think he was a great entertainer. Like that was his thing. He's a great entertainer. He was great on a mic. He knew he was very charismatic. So
Like
I
he
think
didn't have any moves really.
right. I think he was very
It's just the
mhm,
entertainment got you.
yeah, right. So if he didn't have that factor to him, he wouldn't be anywhere near what he is considered now today.
Like,
Just because of the fact that we had that first version of him and he was nowhere near because of the fact we didn't have the charismatic side of him. We had just in-ring rock. And if you look at that versus what he later began to be, it's no comparison, but his charisma is what saved his career. On
mhm.
the other side, when you look at someone like Triple H, through and through, you know, he was always that man, whether it was on a mic, in his character mode, whichever version you want to look at. When you have and you break down from um when he was
He actually gave
Helmsley,
he actually gave you a better version of DX.
right, right. And it's just something that you can't escape from. If you look at every single version of Triple H, it is no comparison to The Rock. Which kind of like what you said about HBK, we have two versions of The Rock. Three, really.
You think so?
And that's
I
it.
feel like there's only one version of The Rock.
Well, we have like his original,
I don't
we
count
have
that.
his original. Then we have him with
I don't count the original. I count just The Rock. And then you get maybe a little bit of the Hollywood Rock, but he never stayed here long enough.
right.
The Rock made you believe him. Like that's what it was. Like
Oh, of course.
like when he legit didn't fuck with Cena, that feud was fire because you knew that they did not like each other.
Mm-hmm.
That Rock really wanted to fuck him up in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw all that, and the promos was fire. And then
Mm-hmm.
even that moment going back to, I hate to go back to, that's how disappointed I am in the man. But he's had moments, so many moments in wrestling. But Terry, when
It's
he
probably the
gave,
most action he's getting on this show ever.
because we're talking about retro, and you can't realistically talk about wrestling without mentioning Terry at all. Like it's hard.
I know.
But the fact that he had that moment with The Rock where he was like, "They believed in you, I believed in you," and I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like my heart started pumping, and I was like, "Yo, they about to fight," and he was like, "Why don't you go 1-on-1 with the Great One?" And I was like, "Oh shit, this is going down,"
Mm-hmm.
and it was so fire that the crowd made him change roles in the middle of the match. Like
Yep.
you always hear about the double turn, and it's kind of like really subtle, so you kind of don't see it, but you legitimately saw the double turn in that match,
Right.
and that's because The Rock's charisma was amazing. Like had nothing to do with his wrestling. It
Mm-hmm.
was it was just the electricity, as he says,
The
and how
most
he was,
electrifying.
which is facts. And Triple H was always a student of the game, obviously, because being you saw what he did with NXT. Like Triple H, it's got to be Triple H. Like from Hunter Hearst to Triple H to DX to the Super DX to Evolution to NXT. Like it's
Everything. Like everything that man touched was gold.
like he's like another Jericho. Like they've always reinvented themselves.
Yes, wholeheartedly. All right. So then Stone Cold
I'm
or
surprised they
Taker.
didn't say, I'm surprised they didn't say Stone Cold Rock because that was always the AB.
I know, but and I think the matchups kind of make sense, sort of the way that they matched them up. Kind of makes sense because yeah, both were
Um,
in their primes at different points and times.
yeah.
Except for, Trish and Lita, they were pretty much in their prime at the same time. And so
Like
was
like
Sasha and Charlotte.
Stone Cold Rock was Stone Cold on his way out, Rock going up, because it was more or less Triple H Rock.
Yeah.
But boom, Austin heel turn, was it really as bad as people make it out to be? I think so because it seemed like it was forced.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold, is he a badass? Yes, he's a badass. Is he a heel? Not per se. Like it's just his attitude and character was just like I don't give a fuck. And it went from making it I don't give a fuck to no, I'm a bad guy, so I'm gonna do bad guy shit. So make sure you boo me.
Yeah. It's one of those things where no matter how much, if they wanted Stone Cold to be heel, he was going to be face. Like he was too over. So people were always going to cheer for him at some point in time. I mean, that's one of the few people that he could come out and just stand there and people
What?
are cheering. Right. Like like no one Stone Cold
I was
himself.
gonna say, has Austin ever been booed?
I mean, yeah, he's been booed before.
I don't think I've ever recalled a situation where
There,
he's.
if you listen carefully, there's been times where he's been booed, but realistically, And in this next sentence, he's being cheered because he was a type that you just loved him. So either you love to hate him or you just hated to love him.
Yeah.
But it worked. It was nothing that the company could have done to make the fans feel otherwise.
Yeah, because he was legitimate a badass. Like every dude wanted to be him. Like fuck up your boss, like talk shit. Like I believe he was today's generation. Like you know how there's no. I always get the words mixed up. Kayfabe is when they're faking it, right? Since there's no kayfabe anymore.
Yeah.
Since there's no kayfabe anymore, Stone Cold is who he is. Like on and off. Like it's real deal. And I think that's why people loved him. Like you can tell he's a dickhead. Like, and you can tell like he'll probably love you, but he ain't got no problem with saying like, "Get the fuck out of my face, son."
Right. Right. I loved everything about him. Honestly, if I had to choose between Stone Cold or Undertaker, I would take.
I'm taking Taker because you can't beat that. You can't be that never breaking character. You can't beat that. I mean, he was
What
dead
about
man.
in ring?
In the ring, I think he had more moves than Stone Cold. Stone Cold was more of a persona to me. Like all he had was his punches and his no shade because obviously we just gave you like 45 minutes
He
of
was a
loving Stone Cold.
brawler.
He was a brawler. You got the punches, you got the mud stomps, you got the flip balls, and then you got the stunner. So he didn't do that many stuff. Undertaker had the last ride, the choke slam, the hellified last ride, like the old school. He was obviously fucking ministry, Taker, badass, like, and
That's
then
so
he never broke kayfabe.
that's
Like no one has ever done that. No one will ever do it again.
yeah, but I mean, technically, in this same instance, Stone Cold, he was always just being himself.
I mean that's true, but he also had Stunning Steve, Hollywood Blondes, Ringmaster.
Yeah, those were.
Taker was always Dark Taker.
I don't. Ooh, Stone Cold or Taker. That one's out of everything that's on this list. This is probably the hardest for me because I don't know. Like, they're both icons. Like
I think Taker's star is brighter than Stone Cold's. Taker's well respected throughout the world. Everybody.
but so is Stone Cold.
No, you might get some people that don't fuck with Stone Cold, but everyone fucks with Taker.
I feel like that's on a personal level. Like,
I mean, it probably is, but no one dislikes Taker. You just can't be. To me, you just can't be that nostalgia. You just can't. It's like the Rock. It's like the Rock and who do we say? The Rock and Triple H. Like
yeah.
on a personal level, obviously the Rock for me, but Triple H was the best as far as the ring work and all that shit. Taker the same thing. Like personal level, Stone Cold was a badass. Everyone wanted to be him. I love Stone Cold, but in ring, Taker. How many moments did you get from Taker? How many did you get from Stone Cold? I can give you two right now. I'll take her off rip. Mick Foley, Shane McMahon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How many off rip can you give me with Stone Cold? Bret Hart?
All right. So I guess if we're looking at it like that, then okay, I'll take Taker. But I'm only taking Taker like when he was like so far short, like prime Taker. I'm not taking him like his last few years because honestly, it was like, come on, put the dog out the misery.
You can't count that.
We needed to just put him down gently, and they weren't putting no yellow down. They were just letting him come to different events, and it's like, please stop.
Yeah. If you catch us late, I did say that Okada's first match in the United States is going to be against Buddy Murphy, and Kenta won the United States IWGP heavyweight belt.
Mm-hmm. All right, so last one.
Who's next?
Now this one's easy for me, but
Michaels.
No, last one: John Cena or Randy Orton.
See, it's the same thing as the last three. For me personally, Randy. If we're talking about, yeah, it's Randy. Because
It's Randy, hands down.
yeah,
It's Randy.
like popularity and carrying the company is obviously Cena, but in ring work, character work,
Everything about Orton.
moves, charisma, like Randy's an it factor.
Like, this man came in being like a legend killer. Like, how many people have tried that and failed?
It still looks good doing the part.
Right. And I am a very much like, I am so far for Randy Orton. He's definitely one of my top faves. Just because if you look at his whole career,
One of the best theme musics of all time.
that part, like, and him heel, when he's hungry going for that belt, it's amazing. Right now, he's chilled out.
That arcade bro shit is funny as fuck.
Exactly. He's another one. We didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how good he could be as
but
this version.
but it's because Randy's being Randy. He's being a dickhead.
Right.
Like like
Right.
like fucking Riddle was trying really hard to be his friend and love him, and he's just like, bro, I don't do that clingy shit. Like, get the fuck off me.
Right. And we're just waiting for it. We're waiting, or I don't know if anybody else is, but we're waiting for Randy to be the Viper. We're waiting for him to
I'm
turn,
waiting. I think it'd be more fire if Riddle does it though.
which I completely agree. I would wholeheartedly believe that, and I could see
Like
that.
Randy would do it.
But I think we'll see that more so for WrestleMania. We'll see like Randy Orton versus uh Matt Riddle. I can see that being a WrestleMania match.
Oh, Randy.
I love Randy. He's one of my favorites. Top fave ever.
I love Riddle. He's like a character wise upgrade version of RVD.
Yep. Wholeheartedly. I am
RVD could go, but he didn't have the great mic work.
right. And Riddle, I mean,
Riddle's a brawler.
he's a brawler. He's one of the few people that was able to transition over from UFC and have like an actual successful career in WWE or just wrestling in general. So I like Matt Riddle. He doesn't get enough credit that he deserves, clearly, but
they have a shorter roster now. He should be.
I mean, he's, and you know what? With
Riddle,
he's good where he is.
If they turn him heel, especially against Randy, I would have to give him the dub over Randy. I don't know if it'll happen. He has to turn heel. He'll have to get the dub over Randy. Turn more into a brawler, UFC Brock type. I can see him with the heavyweight. If they keep him goofy, funny, high all the time, Riddle, then maybe I see.
Let me see something, because I look at things a little bit differently, which is why I was right before about Randy winning the title.
Oh my God, you scared the shit. But they said, which is why I was raped, and I was like, whoa, this shit went left.
That went so far. No. So I think that before Randy retires,
Randy,
that we are going to get him surpassing, because if I remember correctly, now
the belt count.
Yeah. If I remember right now, he's tied with Triple H.
He's not beating Ric Flair.
I don't think he's beating Ric Flair, because this is something that I've discussed previously in different situations, but I always look at this because I know it's something that matters to WWE when they're looking at legacies. Legacy is a big thing.
Thanks,
also because right now we don't have anyone that's as close to the others. We have John Cena.
I can see John beating Big E to beat Ric Flair.
Right.
They weren't going to give it to against Roman, but I could see John coming back against Big E. And
Mm-hmm. I could wholeheartedly see that, especially because they did remove Rick from
mhm.
the entrance and everything. So right now they're not really on, allegedly they're not on good terms with Rick. So with that being said, I can see John surpassing. I can see, because it will be John, then it will be Rick, then I see Orton, and then Triple H. All
Don't
Orton needs is one more dub to pass Triple H. And
yeah,
then after that, there's a huge gap.
but he needs 3 to be number 1.
I don't see him being number one. That's I realistically I never thought
Okay.
anybody was gonna
All right, so
pass
I'll
Rick.
give you that. I think he can get one more championship run, but
Yeah,
I would want him to actually be the one to beat Rick, but I don't think his career is going to be as long as how many times it's going to take him to get the belt. I think he's got like 2 more years, maybe.
that's it. You think he only has 2 more years left in the company?
I mean, he's older. He's already at the stage where he said where he's putting people over. So that's basically on your way out. You don't want to go out looking like you can't go anymore. So he's
Right.
getting close to that line. Plus, with everything that's happening, all the cuts and how boring it is, do you really want to be a part of this sinking ship?
Yeah, I concur. I can see that.
But
I just
I definitely wanted him to be the one to beat Rick.
Yeah, I if anything, I always thought it was gonna be John. Just because he's the glorified fave. I'm actually surprised that right now Roman has the belt as long as he did. I would have thought
Yeah,
that they would have broke it up
I
to
can.
get him close to that top tier level.
I want him to beat CM Punk's number.
Right. So it's like they're looking at two different things right now instead of looking at making him in the legacy category.
I
Um,
mean, if you look at his dubs, like not going back to my cousin, but if you look at his dubs, he's already beat everyone legitimately. Only one he hasn't beat is The Rock. He's beat Bryan. He's beat Edge. He's beat Bray. He's
mhm,
beat he's beat Taker. He's beat Cena twice. He's
yeah.
beat he's beat Edge. He's beat Brock twice. Like his resume is already it's already done.
I mean, yeah, it is.
And then
But
if they give him the one to hold the title for the longest, it's cemented.
yeah, I mean, I hear that. But at the same time, they're still very adamant on legacies. And so I feel like because Roman could have so much potential as far as what he has left in him, we're gonna see him with the title, like with doing a title run, like way more often. But we'll see probably shorter reigns, just the way that Charlotte climbed up with her reigns. Where she may have had it for, maybe I think her shortest stint was maybe a month or 2 months having the belt
Yeah.
before she had lost it. So I think we're gonna start seeing that more so with Roman once he beats CM Punk's legacy record, so that he can now climb the ranks and be up there and listed with.
I don't think he's ever gonna get that. I don't think he's ever gonna get that.
You don't think so?
If this number is correct, if I looked it up correctly, he's only had the world championship 3 times.
That's my point. No one else.
But he's already on the prime to to the decline stage of his career. He's in his
Right.
he's in his prime now. Like to reach a Ric Flair number, you would have had to have at least 6 or 7 right now.
And that's my thing. No one right now is close to those legacy numbers anymore. Like, that's the problem, is because they stopped doing it. And I mean, I guess if you're gonna make it prestigious, cool, which I get it should wholeheartedly be. But if you want somebody to really entered that level of prestige. And if you want it to be Roman, if you're going to make him the chief and you're going to give him all this accolades, like keep going, give him more accolades, like make him embedded in the history. It's weird that I'm saying this and not you. I just want to be clear on that.
Because it's so different now, and I think Vince has learned his lesson per se. Because every time someone has the record, for some reason he doesn't fuck with them. Obviously, because they do bad business, so he's always trying to erase what they did. All right, let's be clear. The original youngest heavyweight championship champion ever was Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Vince had to fall out with him, and that's why Randy became the youngest ever
Yep.
to erase Brock.
Yep.
So what he's doing now, like I said, I think he's trying to erase CM Punk's number. So he's giving that to Roman. John will probably do the Flair if they want Flair out of there since he's the closest. But I don't think he's going to give that much shit to one individual anymore to have to erase all those things from that one person. I don't think John will ever fall out of favor. So I think
Yeah.
they'll give him the title and be like, cool, appreciate all your time here in peace. Roman is
Yeah.
just Roman's just a number. So at any point, if they don't fuck with Roman, they can easily give some newcomer the title for the whole for 500 days or whatever.
Mm. We shall see. We'll see.
But would I want my family to obviously have all the accolades? Of course. Usos to me are the greatest tag team of all time.
Exactly. Not the fucking New Day.
Hey, I don't know what they were doing with that, but hey, whatever.
Mm. I digress. But we will see y'all back here
What?
next
This
week.
is the first time CL is going on first?
You know this. Nah, but we will catch you guys next week. We'll be live during Full Gear.
So Full Gear this Saturday, correct?
Yes, this Saturday at
All right,
8 p.m.
so we're gonna skip the 12.
We'll discuss that with everybody. We'll
When Friday comes, we'll know what's gonna happen, but you'll definitely catch us one time on Saturday.
maybe we'll do we could do like a quick little pre-show predictions
Except
Saturday morning and then hop back later. We'll keep it brief for y'all.
we'll keep y'all in the loop. Just make sure you're subscribed so you can find all that out. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, all that goodish. Get the shirts, get the merch. But CL said we gotta go, so we gotta go.
That's it. Have a great weekend. Do great things.